Hello everyone, how are you? Just double checking that you can all hear me. Let me know in the comments if you can, and let me know how you are. How has your week been? I can see that Beatrice is already here. Hello, Beatrice. SHHW is here. Hello, SH. G is here. Hi, G. Nice to see you guys. How are you all doing? I'm just going to wait, as per usual, for a few minutes to let people come into the live before we get started. But yeah, how has your week been? Mine has been pretty boring, unfortunately. I was racking my brain trying to think of any exciting updates from the UK, but sadly, it's just been a bit of an average week. We're still in lockdown, which means that there's not many activities that I'm going out to do. But I did go to the beach this weekend. I live by the seaside, I'm pretty sure I've said many times, but I live by the beach, so I make sure that I go to the beach every week, really, or a couple times a week just to go look at the sea because I find it very calming and I really enjoy it. In fact, actually, it was really quite stormy this week, very windy. So I walked down to the seafront and just looked at the waves because they were massive. They were these big, like stormy waves, and it was very cathartic to go and stare at the sea. So I really enjoyed that. So that's an update, I suppose. Young Un says, can hear you. Hello. Hello, Young Un. Sun says, hi, Flora. Hi, Sun. And SH says, it's been raining all day long. So it's been rubbish weather then in Korea. It's the same in the UK, except it's not like heavy rain in the UK. It's always just spitting. That's a bit of maybe a bit of new vocab for you guys, is spitting, which means when it's raining lightly. And I find that rain quite annoying because it gets in the way and it's not properly raining. I quite like heavy rain because it's very like dramatic, or it sounds quite nice outside your window if you're cozy inside. But spitting, it's just a bit pathetic. Aidan says, hello, Flora and everyone. Hello, Aidan. Thank you for coming back to the live stream. And yes, a couple of people are saying spitting. Yes, that is some new vocabulary for you. So today, in the UK, it is spitting. Also, I want to say happy International Women's Day to all of my female viewers out there. I hope that was on Monday. I hope that you had a good day, and I hope you always have a good day. I didn't really do anything to celebrate this year because of the virus. But yeah, I saw some nice posts on social media and stuff like that, so that was quite lovely. Young In says, I especially love to go to the sea in winter. Me too. I feel like winter beach trips are very underrated. I think like a cold, crisp winter's morning, or like even better, a stormy trip to the sea is very, very nice and very fun. I like it. I like big waves. All right. Well, as I said, slightly boring week, so I've not got much to update you on. So, shall we just get right into today's topic? So, by popular demand in the poll from last week, today we are going to be talking about British music festivals. I've just got distracted because Aidan's asked me a very good question that I'm going to answer. So Aidan says, what do you do on International Women's Day? And that's a really good question, so I'm going to answer that one. To be honest, not a whole lot. I think I wasn't really aware of International Women's Day as being a thing until I was at university. And when I was at university, there used to be events like, I don't know, maybe people would do like a demonstration and would have posters and talk about various women's issues that people face. It's often a time that we reflect on the important women, not only in history, but also more personally, the important women in our lives. I think International Women's Day mainly exists online, which is quite interesting and quite like a new phenomenon of the 21st century is that we can have whole days that mainly exist virtually, but doesn't mean that they exist any less, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, most of the stuff I see about International Women's Day is happening on Instagram, really. I see lots, I think it's become a little bit commercialized, which I don't know how I feel about that kind of thing. So you'll see lots of brands like posting like feminist or like pro women posts celebrating women, maybe celebrating the women in their company or celebrating famous women in history, which is great. And it's great to see brands and companies with big platforms doing that. But I also think that an incentive for them to do that is because it generates clicks, it generates likes, it generates adverts, it generates money. So I have mixed feelings about that side of International Women's Day, kind of co-opting feminism to earn money. But on the other hand, you'll just see lots of celebrities making posts, which is good, or just people personally saying stuff. Like in the past on International Women's Day, I've posted about my mum, being like, Happy International Women's Day, especially to my mum, and things like that. So yeah. Aidan says, demonstration for gender equality. Yes, exactly. So at universities or schools, you might see like signboards or posters or demonstrations about issues that women face. Yeah. Aidan says that back in 2016, I came to Birkbeck, London to attend the seminar of the Comfort Women issue of South Korea on International Women's Day, which was a bit of worth the time I spent. I think what you mean here, Aidan, is which was time well spent or like worth the time, but that sounds like a really interesting lecture, and that's a really good example of the kind of events that would be held on International Women's Day. So yeah, looking at important moments in history connected to women, gender equality, feminism, this kind of thing. And I've heard about the Comfort Women statues in Korea, and I think that's a really important issue. And I'm really jealous. I want to go to that seminar. It sounds really interesting. But yeah. And Siwoo says hello. Hello, Siwoo. Happy International Women's Day to you as well. But yes. Okay. Right. Shall we get started with today's topic? So, as I was saying earlier, today's topic, as voted by everyone, is British music festivals. And I had a really good time making my live stream plan for today and making the slide presentation, because it made me remember all the festivals that I went to when I was younger. I haven't been to a festival in a couple of years now. I would have loved to have gone to one this year, but we'll see if I can because of the virus. But in the past, I've gone to many festivals. Not many festivals. I've been to a few festivals. I exaggerated there. But I used to go like every year for about 4 years in a row, and I absolutely love them. So I am super excited to share with you guys what I think are like the top 3 music festivals in the UK, and this is just my opinion. So these are all my personal opinions. But without further ado, let's get started. So, right. Dun, dun, dun. Bear with me while I get the slide going. So this time I'm going to try something new. So do bear with me, guys. Sorry for the slight delay. I'm going to try and get the presentation to actually be a presentation rather than just be me kind of going through them and like zooming in, because that doesn't look very good. So I don't know how to start the presentation. I should have looked this up before. All right, do you know what? It's going to take too much time. I'm just going to do it how I usually do it. Okay, so here we are. Nice. Okay, so flicking through a bit. There we go. Ah, that's how it works. I did it! Oh, guys, I'm so proud of myself. Aiden says, take your time. Thank you, Aiden. That's very kind. But, I'm so proud of myself, guys, that I managed to get this going. Anyway, the first festival... Where should I put myself? Here. The first festival that I'm going to talk about today is my absolute favourite festival of all time. And it is Glastonbury. So, where is Glastonbury? Glastonbury is on Worthy Farm, which is near the town of Glastonbury in Somerset, which is the southwest of England. And sorry, my computer was doing something funny. It's my absolute favourite festival. So I went to Glastonbury for 4 years in a row from 2014 to like 2017. So from the age of 18 to 22, I went every single year and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to go back to Glastonbury. I think probably that won't happen until 2022, maybe 2023. But whenever I next get to go, I'm just so excited. So when is the festival? It is on the last weekend of June, and it is as I said, the biggest festival in the UK. It has a capacity of, I don't even know how to say that number, 210,000 people. So 210,000 people attend this festival, which is roughly the same size, I think, as the population of my hometown. So the festival is literally the size of a medium to small-ish town in the UK. So it's absolutely huge. And there's 79 performance stages, and there's several like areas of the festival that have different themes per area. So for example, you'll have the main stage, which is the pyramid stage, which is an incredibly famous performance venue. And it's hosted artists such as Beyonce, David Bowie, Oasis, Kanye West, like Patti Smith. So many famous people have performed on that stage. It's absolutely legendary. So that's the main stage. And then it has loads of areas with different themes. There's a circus themed area where you can see circus performances. There is something called ShangriLa, which is kind of more like the nightlife area. So that's, I think, has artists playing for 24 hours. So once you've seen the main performances at the stages, you go to ShangriLa, and it's this like big area with loads of different tiny stages inside, kind of like clubs, and it's really, really cool. It has there's an area in Shangri-La there was one called Heaven and Hell. So there was a heaven themed stage and a hell themed stage. There was also an area which I hated that was called the Unfair Ground. And the reason I hated it is because it was just really creepy. It was meant to be really creepy, and it had like big statues of like creepy dolls and things like that. I was not a fan of the Unfair Ground. But they also had like a temple, like a kind of Aztec temple themed area. What else was there? Oh my goodness. There's a kids field. So it can be quite a family friendly festival as well. There's a massive kids section, and there's like, I think, family camping as well. So that's really inclusive. And there's even an area called the Healing Fields, which could potentially be my favourite like mini area of Glastonbury. And it's called the Healing Field because it's basically like got lots of tents set up where people do things like meditation, yoga, massages, and it's great to go maybe if you've had a bit of a heavy night the night before, drunk a little bit too much, feeling a little bit worse for wear. You can go to the Healing Fields and listen to some nice singing bowls and smell some incense and just feel wonderful. So I absolutely love the Healing Fields. So yeah. The festival started in 1970 by a man called Michael Eavis, who owns Worthy Farm. So he was a farmer beforehand, and then he attended another festival nearby, and he was inspired to create his own in his back garden. And it started out quite small, and it was originally free, and it was called Glastonbury Fair. At one point, it was also £1, and you'd also get like milk from the local farm or something like that. So it started off very small, and then it just built and built and built, and now has become probably one of the biggest festivals in the world, maybe? I don't know, but definitely the biggest festival in the UK. So it has every genre of music imaginable. So it has mainstream music, like I mentioned, Beyonce and David Bowie, and so these mainstream kind of idols. I don't know if you could call David Bowie mainstream. What I mean is very famous people. So it has these big acts. And then it'll also have smaller bands as well, as some of the different tents. There's a stage. I think there's like an alternative stage. I think it's like themed, so it's called the other stage, and it usually has like alternative bands. I saw the Pixies there, for example. You can also see rappers, loads of DJs, just literally anything, world music, probably folk music. You can also go to talks as well. Oh, and even one year I saw the Dalai Lama, which is incredible. So the Dalai Lama came on and did a speech on the pyramid stage, and it was so emotional. I loved it. So yeah. Oh, and also just a last point is that it's held around the summer solstice, which is why it's the last weekend of June. So our son says, what type of music do they do? So I feel like I've just answered that question. Everything. And Beatrice has asked, which artist performance did you like the most? What an excellent question. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think, as I mentioned, I saw the Pixies there. That was in 2014. And that was really special because I really love the Pixies. They're a band that I've liked since a really young age, and it was really incredible to see them perform live. And also what I quite like about the way the Pixies perform is they don't do a lot of like talking to the audience, which is some people probably like, some people probably don't like, but they like came on and just played like song after song, but it kind of meant that you definitely heard all the hits, and I think they planned their set really well, and everyone got to hear the songs they wanted to hear, like their best ones. There was another, and now something from my new album kind of thing, which I don't really enjoy. So yeah, the Pixies is probably up there as one of my favourite bands that I saw at Glastonbury. Yeah. Okay. Aidan Kang says, it sounds challenging. I also hate the unfair and creepy place. Yes. Actually, Glastonbury in a way is challenging. It's very tiring because it's essentially the size of a town. You end up walking very far. Another thing that I forgot to mention that I love about Glastonbury that makes it very different to all other UK festivals is that there's no arena, which means that, by that I mean, so an arena is like an area where all the stages are. So usually in a festival, you have a campsite and then you walk up and you enter into the like performance area. But in Glastonbury, the campsites are kind of intertwined and mixed in with the stages. So people have their tents like near the like next to the pyramid stage. One year we camped next to, and I can't remember what the stage was called now. I think it was called Metamorphosis. But we camped next to a stage that was basically created to look like a giant spider, and it shot fire out of it. So it was mainly there for like electronic music performances at night time. So that meant that when we were done, we were really close to our tents once we had finished dancing, so that's pretty fun. But it also meant that because it shot fire out of this mechanical spider, it was always very warm because you would get like the warm air from the fire, which I thought was really good. It was quite nice. When you're camping, it can get really cold. So yeah, that's one of my favourite things about Glastonbury. And Aidan also asks, what message did you get from the Dalai Lama? Very spiritual and touching. Yes, but I can't remember it, unfortunately, because it was quite a long time ago. But I remember being very moved, and I think he was just sending a message of like peace and love, probably. I can't remember exactly what it was. Hi Nick, how are you? Nick says hi guys. All right, let's move on to festival number 2. I could talk about Glastonbury all day, but I'll move on. So the second festival I'm going to talk about is Shambhala. So Shambhala is somewhere in Northamptonshire in a field. Lots of these festivals are just kind of somewhere in the countryside. It happens on the last weekend of August, and it is a contemporary arts festival. So this festival is a lot smaller than Glastonbury, a lot smaller, but it's kind of got more of like a hippie kind of feel. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it only serves vegetarian food at the festival, so that's quite cool. So there's more of like a eco focus at this festival. It runs over 4 days, Thursday to Sunday, and it has a variety of music. So it has rock, pop, folk, world music. But a cool thing about Shambhala is that it also hosts a lot of other activities. So there are art workshops, which I haven't been to one, but I hear they're meant to be really, really good. They do debates, comedy, yoga, and there's even an organic food market. So yeah, that is Shambhala. So that one's quite fun and lighthearted, and also maybe a bit more low-key, a bit more relaxed than Glastonbury. So yeah, that is festival number 2. And the final festival, I have not got much to say about Shambhala apart from the fact that it's kind of a good festival to go to if you want a more hippie vibe. And the final festival is Green Man. So Green Man is in Wales. It's in Brecon Beacons, which is a beautiful mountain range. So the scenery for Green Man is really, really quite stunning. It's set like into the mountains, so that's really beautiful. It's also quite small. It's got a capacity of 25,000 people, so a lot less than Glastonbury. But the reason I've included 2 smaller festivals and also Glastonbury, the huge one, is because I kind of prefer a smaller festival apart from Glastonbury. Glastonbury is my absolute favourite and is massive, but comparing all the other big festivals, I think I prefer the little ones because they tend to have a more focused theme. Like Shambhala's got quite like a focused theme. I mean, you can even tell from the name Shambhala. I'm pretty sure Shambhala means something in Hindu. I'm just going to have a look. Shambhala meaning. It's Buddhist. Oh, this is really interesting. So the word Shambhala, which has a H in it, and I'm pretty sure Shambhala has probably taken their name from this word, but it's a mythical kingdom somewhere in Inner Asia, and it's connected to Buddhism. So as you can tell from the name of this festival, there's a more spiritual vibe going on, and it's a similar to Green Man as well. So Green Man has also got an eco focus like Shambhala. In fact, the festival refuses commercial sponsorship and focuses only on local Welsh food and drink providers, and it directly employs its employees, which is rare, and it makes sure it pays a living wage. So not minimum wage, but living wage, which is different and slightly higher. So this festival, Green Man, has like a strong ethical and environmental focus, similar to Shambhala. Shambhala, I think, has quite an eco focus as well. Many festivals have an eco focus, I think. But Green Man especially so, because it even uses solar power where it can. So I think the reason I quite like these smaller festivals is that they're a bit more intimate and they tend to have like a more niche or stronger theme. So with Shambhala, it's very quite spiritual and eco-focused, and with Green Man it's very ethical, environmental focus, and also it mainly showcases indie and alternative music. You on the lineup you can also see like electronic music, jazz, folk, Americana, but the majority of the bands you'll be seeing, or the bands that are headlining, will be indie bands, which I think is quite nice. It's quite nice to have a mix of different festivals. So yeah, those are my 3 top festivals that I would pick for in the UK, the top 3 festivals in the UK. Aidan says, is Shambhala more contemporary arts fest than Glastonbury? Yes, definitely, I think. So Glastonbury has a mix of everything, which is why I love it. Because you'll find contemporary arts in Glastonbury, you'll find massagers, you'll find circus performers, you'll find DJs, you'll find mainstream artists, you'll find alternative artists, you'll see everything. Whereas Shambhala has definitely got a focus on contemporary arts, which is why whilst it has music performances from contemporary bands, it also features workshops. So there'll be art workshops, dance workshops, yoga workshops, this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's more based just around contemporary art. And Aidan then also asks, which do you prefer, Shambhala or Glastonbury? You won't be surprised to hear that Glastonbury is what I prefer. Because it's just my ultimate favourite. When I was making the slides and planning this presentation, I was actually getting a little bit sad because it's been so long since I've been to a festival. Kind of being stuck at home all year, it's made me really, really want to go back to a music festival as soon as possible. Beatrice says, I prefer smaller festivals. Me too, Beatrice. What small festivals have you guys been to, or what festivals has anyone been to? Let me know in the comments. Maybe we can give each other some recommendations. Chang Min Lee says, I'm so late. No worries, Chang Min. Welcome to the live stream. You can always watch the first half of the live stream later when it's posted on YouTube, so don't worry. Aidan says, you are been there twice and it sounds worth visiting there. Oh, I don't know where you're talking about. Oh, Chang Min. Sorry, I missed another comment. So Chang Min said, I've been to Glastonbury twice. And then Aidan replied, you've been there twice. Sounds like it's worth visiting. Yes, Aidan, I've been there 4 times. It's definitely worth visiting. And Jungen says, it's enough to make me want to travel to England. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, no, if you guys ever plan a trip to the UK and you can incorporate a music festival into that trip, I would definitely recommend it, because I think that UK music festivals are really special. I think it's something that the UK does really well. There are other good international festivals, I'm sure. I've never actually been to one abroad and I really want to go. But I think that UK music festivals might be quite famous, I think. So definitely worth experiencing. Okay. I think now is a good time to do some vocab. So today I'm going to teach you a few bits of helpful, what I think is helpful vocabulary for you if you ever go to a music festival. And all these bits of vocab are quite different. So the first one is this. So can anyone guess what this word is? Portaloo. Portaloo. So I'm going to do a little bit of pronunciation today, actually, I've decided. So for the pronunciation of this word, we want the stress to be on por. And then this sound here in the middle is a schwa. So it's portaloo. Portaloo. So, what does this word mean? Anybody? Any guesses? I think it's quite obvious. Yes, Beatrice got it. It's a toilet. So portaloos, also, I think they might be called porta cabin in America. I'm not sure. But these are the toilets you'll find in a festival. So as Young-un has said, portable loo, a portable toilet. So this is something that you'll have to face at any festival. It's a challenge. They're quite gross, but they're part of the experience. Chang Kang says, isn't loo toilet? It is, yes. So in British English, slang for the toilet is loo. Good, yes, well done, Emma. Emma says, portable toilet, well done. And Seo Wu as well. Good job, guys. Well done. Excellent. So to use this in a sentence, you could say, the portaloo was overflowing, which can happen at festivals, and it's so gross. But sometimes the portaloos get blocked up and overflow, and then some poor festival worker has to come and fix it. And I feel really bad for them. Good. Okay. Beatrice says, oh, it's so uncomfortable. It really is, isn't it, Beatrice? It's terrible. But it's kind of part of the experience, right? And you get some funny stories from it, I'm sure. Okay, so the next bit of vocab is a phrase. So this one is to keep in touch or to keep in contact. To keep in touch, to keep in contact. What does that mean? Any guesses in the chat? To keep in touch, to keep in contact. In a sentence, you might say, I'll meet you back at the 10 at 10, but make sure you keep in contact with your phone, with your mobile. Aidan says, contact with SB. Who is SB? I don't know what that means. Let me know. But potentially, yes, if I know who SB is. Any more guesses before I reveal the meaning? So I think the meaning is kind of obvious. It is to keep in contact with your friends. Aidan has just said somebody. Yes, it is to keep in contact with somebody. Nick says to be available. Correct. Well done, Nick. And SHHW says get in touch with. And Beatrice says you message someone later. So good. These are all great answers. So yeah, it's to stay in contact with, to text or message or be available on your phone with your friends. Because festivals can be very big. There's lots of people, lots going on. So it's an expression that friends use that means that you need to tell each other where you are to make sure you don't get lost. Because you don't want to end up dancing on your own. So keep in touch. Good. Okay, on to the final bit of vocab for today before we move on to our mini quiz. And this is an acronym that you might see. Oh, actually, I'm not going to give you... Actually, I will give you a clue. You might see this on a festival lineup. B2B. B2B. What do you think that means? So the hint is that you might see this expression on a festival lineup. A example sentence to help you out is from 11, it's Jamie XX B2B Quartet, for example. Aidan says back to back. Good. I'm going to let some more people guess before I reveal the answer. So we've got back to back. Anyone else? Any other guesses? All right, okay, Aiden, you win. It is back to back. Well done, everyone. Yes, good. So yeah, when you go to a festival and two DJs are playing back to back, then we say B2B. And Siowu has says business to business, which is its original meaning, I think, or it's another meaning. But in terms of like in festival vocab, B2B means when two DJs play tracks back to back. So one DJ will play a song and then the next DJ will play it and they will alternate. So yeah. Aiden Kang says, what came to my mind first when I saw B2B was business to business. Yeah, I do think maybe that's the original meaning, but yeah, this is the more fun meaning. Okay, cool. Well done, guys. Nice. So, time for our mini quiz. It's that time of the live stream. Are we all ready? Oh, before I start, Nick has a very good question. So, Nick asks, is it expensive to visit any of these festivals? Yes, it's very expensive, unfortunately. I think I said earlier that originally Glastonbury was free. But nowadays it costs around £250 for a ticket. I think for what you're getting though, it's not too expensive because you do get a lot. And it's 5 days camping as well, but it is quite expensive. But most UK festivals are going to be around £180 to £200 or £250. That's kind of the price limit. When you go to festivals abroad, though, it's even more expensive because obviously included in that is flights and just loads of other stuff. So that's why I've never done a festival abroad yet, because I haven't budgeted for it. But one day I will. But good question, Nick. Thank you. Okay, everyone says that they're ready for the mini quiz. Woohoo! So today's mini quiz is we're gonna guess where these festivals are from. So I'm going to give you the name of a festival and then I'm going to have, there's 3 options of what country they're from and you guys have to guess which country they are. Very, very simple. Okay, let's begin. So number 1 is Coachella. So where is this famous festival? Is it in France, the USA, or Canada? So everyone guess in the comments, where is Coachella? France, USA, Canada. And whilst you're guessing, I just have a quick vocab point to make. So we were talking about the price of festivals a minute ago, and Nick and Youngbin Yun said, wow, so costly. A better expression for you guys to use instead of costly, that's a little bit more natural, would probably be expensive. So, wow, so expensive, which means the same as costly. It means it costs a lot of money, but it's just a little bit more natural for you to use. So yeah, there you go, guys. Vocab tip. Okay, let's see what answers you have given. So Aiden says USA, Ying-in says USA, Sun says USA, Beatrice, Chan, Yungbin, Siowu. Emma says Canada. And Changmin Lee says USA as well. And I'm about to say, I'm sorry to say, Emma, that the answer is USA. Any bonus points for someone if you can guess what state it happens in? So where in America is Coachella? Aiden says Blackpink did their performance there last year, and they did. Well, not last year, but the year before, I think. 2019 it must have been. But yeah, no, Blackpink were the first K-pop band, I think, to perform at a US festival. So that's pretty cool. I love Blackpink. Aiden says, I heard, Flora, you practice Blackpink. Do dance. I have, yes. I forgot. I think I do still remember it, but that is, for me, you guys are never going to see it. I also know the Kill This Love dance as well, but again, you're never going to see it. Emma asks what about the vocab. She asks, what about pricey? Yes, pricey is also good vocabulary to use. So I would say expensive or pricey, but not costly. That's not too common. Beatrice has said California, as has Sia Wu and Chang Kang. And another user who's got a Korean name, so I don't know how to read it, but you are correct. It is California. Well done, guys. Excellent. Good job. Yeah, it happens in the desert. So that would be very hot. Or very cold at nighttime. Okay. Ready for number 2. Hideout. So where is a hideout? Is it in Peru, the UK, or Croatia? So it's in Peru, the UK, or Croatia. The picture should be a bit of a clue. Changmin Lee says the UK. And Lim says, thanks, I changed my name. Thank you, Lim, very helpful. Beatrice says Croatia. Sia Wu thinks it's UK. Aiden thinks it's Croatia. Emma thinks it's in the UK. Any more guesses before I reveal the answer? SHW says UK. Changmin Lee says it's in Croatia. All right, so Lim thinks it's in Peru, but I'm going to tell you guys the answer. The answer is 3, Croatia. I wish that this photo was in the UK. That is not what the UK looks like. As you can see, it's very sunny and sunny. I was going to say it's very sandy and sunny, and there's palm trees. So that's not what the UK is like, sadly. But nice guess, everyone. Well done. Okay, on to number 3. Tomorrowland. Oh, that's number 4. Tomorrowland. So where is Tomorrowland? Is it 1 in Australia, 2 Belgium, or 3 Italy? So where is Tomorrowland? Lim thinks it's in Belgium. Changmin Lee says Belgium. Beatrice says Belgium. Emma says Belgium. As does Chan. I think Tomorrowland's really famous, isn't it? Because I've definitely heard of it. I think internationally it's very, very famous. Sia Wu also said Belgium. And Changming Lee says, I'd love to go there. So you guys are correct. It is in Belgium. I think Tomorrowland is a really famous festival. I don't know how popular it is in the UK, but I think, like with British people, probably. But I think internationally it's very, very well known. Yes, so everyone that said number 2, Belgium, is correct. Okay, let's do number 4. Szigет, which I'm not sure I'm saying it correctly. So I think it's pronounced Sziget. I think I just said it really, really wrong. So anyway, Sziget. Where is Sziget? New Zealand, Poland, or Hungary? So where is Sziget? New Zealand, Poland, or Hungary? So Beatrice says Hungary. Changming Lee also says Hungary and also adds that he'd love to go there. Nick says Hungary. Lim thinks it could be Hungary. Any other guesses? SHW says Hungary, as does Aiden and Sia Wu. Yes, you are all correct. Well done. It is in Hungary. And Changming Lee says it's an island in Budapest. And Aiden adds as well that it's in Budapest. Well done, guys. You are correct. Bonus points for you two. But you got the city. Yes, Sziget is in Budapest. So it's like a city festival, which is quite unusual because usually they're in the countryside. So that's quite cool. All right. Last question. Are we ready? Primavera. So where does Primavera happen? Is it in Spain, Greece, or Portugal? What do we think? Where is Primavera? Last question of the live stream. Changmin Lee says Spain. Any other guesses? Anyone? Beatrice thinks it's in Portugal. I'll wait a couple more seconds to see if anyone else answers. Lim thinks it's in Spain. Changmin Lee thinks it's in both Spain and Portugal. I don't know if that's possible, to be in two countries. I suppose it could be, because it could go to one country and then another, but this one is only one country. Yes, lots of people are correct. Number 1, Spain. Primavera is in Spain. And Lim gets a bonus point because he's guessed the city. So Primavera happens in Barcelona. Cool, nice. Changming Lee says that there's Primavera in Spain and Nos Primavera in Portugal. I didn't know that. I'm going to double check if that's true later on. But it seems like Changming Lee is a big fan of music festivals and knows a lot. So thank you. All right, cool. That is the end of the mini quiz. Yay! So, well done, guys. Thank you for taking part. And I hope you enjoyed today's live stream about music festivals. Do you have any questions before we say goodbye? Changmin says, yes, I'm a big fan of music festivals. Well, if you haven't, I think you have been to Glastonbury, haven't you, Changmin? I was going to say, if you haven't been to Glastonbury, you should go. Or if you haven't been to a UK festival, you should go. But you said earlier you had. So, good. All right. Aidan says, today, no drilling. It's good. Yes. For those of you who weren't here at last week's live stream, my neighbour started drilling the wall just as I started, at a few points when I was recording. So today, luckily, there has been no drilling. Very happy about that. Okay, guys, that's everything for today's live stream. I hope you had a good time. I did. And I really look forward to talking with you all next week. So, as per usual, keep an eye out on the community page of our channel. I'm going to be posting another poll for the topic for next week's live stream. So I'm going to give you 3 options and you can vote for what you want us to talk about. Thank you to everyone that voted in last week's poll. It's really, really helpful for me to hear from you guys what you want to talk about. So that's really great. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Sia Wu says thanks. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Sia Wu. And I hope you all have lovely weekends and such. All right. See you next time.